Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rune here with a one-shot guide for Zane. Now, this will go in depth with everything that you will do to one-shot with gear in the skill tree, and then I'll show how to, and then I'll show some clips of different bosses being one-shot. Now, the main thing you want as your weapon is the kick charger. This is max damage, 434%. On the card, it'll be different for cryo on the max damage part and for radiation. As you see on the card, it is still the exact same. Now, the anoint you will want on these is High Health Breaker, which is 150 increased damage over 90% health. This is called V2 damage. So this is the main one-shot anoint. If you can kill them in one shot, and they have no immune phases. And if they have immune phases, then if they go below that threshold, then you'll want to use the AOC Splash Anoint. Now, obviously, you just want to match elements to whatever health bar you're doing. Enemy is immune to it, then I'd say go probably cryo if you can, or radiation. And now we have the Inferno Wish. This should you want to use. You can also use a one-shotter shield, but the Inferno Wish is much better. And then the grenade doesn't really matter unless you're gonna mainly throw the grenade, which you normally don't, and you don't need to. But now you'll see here that we have Terra Anoints. That's the main anoint you're going to use, but you can also use action skill and anoints if you'd like to. And I got a couple action skill and anoints here as well. But I like to use Terra. This is 35% V1 damage, which we don't get anywhere else. So this helps a lot. Now, if you'd like to have an action skill and anoint to match elements, you can do that. You'll just have to shoot an enemy or the boss with this applied terror. Shoot it a couple times, you will gain that terror, and you have the action skill and anoint, and also terror. Swap back to this, and I'll do that for the demonstration, just to show. For the artifact, you will want the toboggan or a snowdrift. You want heavy weapon damage on it. You want AoE damage, and then for the toboggan, you can't get elemental damage on not primary, but elemental damage will work. That's another option. Now on the snowdrift, you probably want elemental damage instead of mag size for the best damage there. But mainly you want the toboggan. I choose move speed because that'll help get that higher peak movement speed for violent momentum. Another option could be action skill cooldown rate, but this is like the best you can get. 100% amp. All amp is multiplicative with other amp. So you'll see here on the Inferno Wish we have amp as well, so these will multiply. The class mods, you have two choices. If you can crit, you want to use the Executor. If you can't crit, or it's hard to crit, you want to use the Antifreeze. Passive you want is heavy weapon damage, splash damage, and weapon critical damage. That'll be your best passive. You could use slash radius, but that's not going to do much. So I have slash radius come here, but then I realized, what's that going to do? That's not going to do anything. So I put on crit damage. I'm going to put on the antifreeze for the demonstration. It's just easier to do for one-shotting. So yeah, and then you'll see I have all these different elemental kick chargers. And then if you really need to, like if you, for some reason can't one-shot that boss for some reason and it doesn't have immune phases, then you can swap to Guardian Angel. Mid-swap, get that 500% V2 damage, and you should, if you can't, I'd be surprised, but you should kill that boss. You'd want the 100 over 150 over 90. That's like on that, but you shouldn't need them. And then you just have the face filter here. This is just from move speed when I was moving around places. Now for the skill tree, we'll go here first. You will want violent speed and violent momentum to get that huge amount of gun damage. You want cold bore to get that 200% cryo bonus damage. It's crazy good. Definitely want it. There's no reason not to pass up. Salvation, just so you don't die after killing the boss. Seeing red to activate kill skills. Playing dirty for that extra projectile. Now, you really don't need 5 points. You can put you just need at least 1 here. You can put some cool hand for like reload speed if you really need to. But I put in playing dirty because this is about the max of the max that you can get. So I put them here. And then 3 in good misfortune, just so you can make sure your barrier stays up. And then death follows close to boost all of our kill skills we're going to have. Red tree, synchronicity and Donnybrook usually don't take synchronicity in gun builds. But this is just extra damage to make sure you get that one shot. And then Donnybrook's gun damage. This is just to keep up your action skill up, and then duct tape mods so you don't kill yourself with your splash afterwards if that ever happens. And then you've got Supersonic Man, which will give movement speed, which we can use to get that higher peak of violent momentum. And then Purple Tree, Mana Focus I choose for just making sure you can be more accurate, especially so you can hit that crit shot. Got gun damage and cooldown here, mainly for the gun damage. Cooldown is also really good. Then you got Headsman Hand, which is ton of crit. 56% crit you will be getting. Then Tunnel Vision's just because more accurate. Running and shooting, so you can charge and then slide if you really want to. Actually, no, that's what you want to. Sorry. And then Art of War. You will get that 150% gun damage at max stacks. You don't need to stack this up all the way, but if you want to make sure you hit that one shot, you do that. And then Eraser for if you can crit an enemy and then get it through to the boss, or some bosses have overlapping hitboxes, so you can do that, and then it'll hit the boss again for crazy damage. And then you'll want Arm and Flint for that aiming down sights, while get that 25% V2 damage. And then we have No Way Out for that debuff damage, and then Proliferation so you can get those 5 charges, mainly so you can get 5 stacks of Arm and Flint. That's the main reason why I have this here. Or did I say Arm and Flint? I meant Supersonic Man. So yeah, that's all that. And then we have Barrier for, you're going to have around 12.5. I think it's closer to 13% amp damage because we're going to have it picked up. If you really want to maximize it, you'd slide across and slide past the barrier like this.
I got tricks.
Shoot and shoot there for 25%, but you really don't need to. So I will show you how to kill the boss. So we want this. Get those terror stacks. Side, shoot, dead. And there you have it. And I just want to make sure, note this is not anything but a bossing build for one shot. It's not practical for mobbing. It's not very easy to do for mobbing. But there you have it. One-shotting Zane. Go. Never mind. Haha! Hmm.